Alright guys, so I played a session with my father probably about a week ago now, and I had 3 replays saved up to show you guys. This is going to be the first game, and all 3 of these games were exhilarating, man. They were very close, and I know not everybody likes the lower tiers, especially like all the way down to tier 5. My dad's prime tier is tier 5 because he loves the M10 RBFM and the Wolverine. They're basically the exact same tank, but he holds like a 90th percentile in these vehicles. He's very, very good with these tanks, so he loves to play them. So I will go down to tier 5. My prime tier is usually like, I would say tier 6, maybe even. Like, that's where I enjoy the game the most, is tier 6. But I would say I play the most at tier 8 just because there's the most premiums at tier 8. And you can see as low as tier 6 and as high as tier 10, right? If you're playing with a tier 8. So, everyone can say what they want about which tier is the best and all that. I would urge you guys to just play the tier where you have the most fun. Like, I want you guys to enjoy the game. The game is not supposed to be some, like, stat padding, festival where you're trying to be better than everybody. Like, just enjoy the game, man. It's a video game. You're supposed to de-stress, not raise your stress levels, right? But sometimes when you're trying to 3 mark vehicles, it can be stressful and stuff. But just play what you like, guys. And my dad likes playing tier 5, so we'll play some tier 5. Now, this game is going to be on Siegfried line. However, I want to emphasize to you guys, and I'm probably going to do this at the beginning of each of these videos or replays, all 3 of these games that I'm going to show you could have happened to tier 10, right? In tier 5, in tier 6 games, in tier 4 games especially, you will find that a lot of people are not as good and they're just much more nonchalant, I'll call it, and they'll just like YOLO into you and they'll throw their tank away. That might happen maybe once in each of these games or something, but for the most part, I'm telling you, these games could have happened at tier 10, tier 9, tier 8, right? It wasn't like everyone was throwing away their HP. Everyone on the enemy team was making decent plays, not like bot plays, right? So that's why I would really, even if you guys don't like watching tier 5, I would urge you guys to watch this replay and the other 2 that I bring you, these lower tier games, where I tell you guys that it was a session with my dad, because I might mix and match a couple videos. I don't like to show like 3 tier 5 games in a row, right, on my channel, so I might bounce back and forth. But if it's a tier 5 game within the next couple of weeks, just watch it, guys, because it's probably going to be one of these, and it's going to be really close and really good, and you're probably going to learn a lot from the game. So, with that being said, let's finally get into this game. The Chaffee is making this play. It's actually a good play on his part because no one is really here, and if he can poke this ridge line, that's good on him because he'll be able to spot my dad, the SU-8, maybe the M44, if these guys are not below the ridge line. Looks like the M44 is, but he could like the SU-8, the Honey, the Cromwell in here, the HT, right? It's a good play to make, but he just gets a little too aggressive with it. My dad ends up hitting him here once. And yeah, man, my dad is so good at these tanks, dude. My dad's always saying, like, my dad doesn't think he's that good. But I'm telling you, at tier 5 in these tanks, the M10 and the Wolverine, like, there's no one else I'd rather play with. Like, my dad just, he's so good with these tanks. He plays them so much. He knows all the positions, So I'm glad that he's out here because he's supporting me directly. The Honey, yeah, he's kind of supporting the Cromwell and T43, but this is why it's so nice to play with someone that you know and platoon with someone, because I know that my dad kind of knows the way I play and my dad knows the way I play, so it just works well, right? And this is why a lot of times you'll see some streamers like to platoon, like Kaizu, because Kaizu will play with like one other person that really knows what they're doing, and it makes the game, I would say, more enjoyable, but also it makes it easier just because you have people of the same mind, right? Basically playing the game, and it's easier to win and really just easier to push into the enemy team and communicate and all that stuff. So the Chaffee finally goes down, and I'm going to start fast forwarding a little bit because this game gets really good at the end. I actually make a couple of mistakes in a row against one particular tank. I don't want to even spoil anything for you guys yet, but my dad is the one that stays alive at the end, and you'll see what happens, right? I mean, it's an incredible game. So it's 4-6 now, or 6-4, and I'm starting to retreat from here because we're going to have to defend the base, right? We've lost a lot of HP in the middle of this map. We got wrecked in the city. It's now 8-5. It was 8-4, and we're down like 1200 HP visible, right? And I'm like, this game, this is done. Like, we're done, man. But sure enough, we end up bringing this one back, guys, and you will see that here. The Challenger makes a quite aggressive play here. The Covenanter, man, this freaking tank. Like, this tank, guys, I'm telling you, if you load the APCRs, I know I'm spamming the APCRs. You guys can say whatever you want about this, but when it's a close game and I need to bring the game back, I need to load the APCRs because the APs are just lacking. Like, they're substantially lacking, right? If I can say that. 86 millimeters of pen against tier 6 and 7s, like, good luck, man, right? So you get 112, I think, with the APCRs. So that's good. Artie actually cleans this guy up. It looks like a good shot by the Su-8. And we're just trying to bring this game back. And sure enough, we will bring this game back. T-43 is pressing into the Artie. My dad has the DPM likely to take this guy out, but he takes a hit from him. And now I'm thinking, okay, where do I need to put myself? I'm going into the city at this point because I'm like, I don't know if it's better for me to try and help this guy. I like to get shots at the T-34, but it's too late. Is it better for me to go into the city and try and figure out where these guys are, or support my dad and try and keep the Su-8 alive? My dad's able to clean this guy up, I believe. I come through here using the ridge line to keep me safe, right? And I'm clicking on the map just so people are aware, or I guess the T1 Heavy is doing it, but I probably would have done the same thing, just so people are aware of where these guys are coming up, right? I'm honestly not that mad at the T1 Heavy. He was kind of spamming the map, but sometimes doing this is helpful when you do it in a controlled manner. You don't want to be like doing this like crazy, but whenever someone appears on the map and I think someone might not be paying attention to the map or they might not be aware of it, I'll just kind of do this. And it does it a few times and that's it. And sometimes that can be helpful, but when you continuously do it, like, you don't want to continuously do it, right? Because it's just really annoying and it's spamming people. But I find it to be helpful for some people, so that might have been what he was doing. I take a shot from the T-34-85M, and now I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to be safe against these guys. The Su-8 ends up shotgunning this guy. Like, what a play, man. And now the Challenger is coming up and over. I don't want to get hit by this guy. My dad's able to get a shot. And I'm going to try, now that the KV-1 has been eliminated as well, I can actually get a jump on this Challenger right through the tree here. So you can see I'm poking it. I'm trying to see if I'm spotted, and I'm actually not even spotted. And this tank, man, I'm telling you, like, the freaking Covenanter, man, it has this burst gun with even a pretty fast reload, and people, like, underestimate it, man. I'm telling you, like, you'll shoot someone 4 times. My dad gets a cleanup kill on the Challenger. You'll shoot someone 4 times, and they'll think you're on, like, a 10-second reload, and it's only, like, 5 seconds, and then you wreck them again. And this freaking tank, dude, I'm telling you. But here's where I make the mistakes, guys, okay? So I've talked this through, I think, but I want to pause, and we'll just talk it through one more time. I was trying to go into the city to figure out where the Challenger went, and also to try and help this guy that was over here, but I was just too late. I come in the city here, and then I realize that people are starting to push like this. That's why the T1 was pinging, right? So people are pressing in this way. Then the Challenger presses in right through the city, right, like up the gut, like this. I take the ridgeline because I'm thinking that, and again, I'm always keeping my mind moving. I'm thinking that that's exactly what these guys are going to do. They're going to crowd the 7890 and the base area because they want to own this portion of the map. So I'm going to try and stay safe in this ridgeline. The T-34-85M had a shot on me, unfortunately. It was a good shot. But once I get around this little bend here, I know I'm safe. My dad is providing excellent cover fire. The Su-8 was providing excellent cover fire. He shotgunned somebody to clean him up. And then we're going to take the little ridge line here and focus the Challenger because I can play around with the bushes and the tree there you saw, and I wasn't even lit anymore. And then I'm able to get a full clip into him, and then we're able to clean up the Challenger as well. Now I'm in a situation where I'm trying to get some distance on the T-34-85M, but this guy outplays me. And this is where I make my biggest 2 mistakes of the game, right? I'm trying to push into this T-34-85M. I'm thinking he's going to stay down on the ridgeline, but he pokes on the ridgeline here, and I just didn't expect it. I don't know why. It's a good play on his part, and now he's pushing in, right? And I didn't expect this either. I'm expecting him to kind of stay on the ridgeline here and poke and be careful because he's really the only guy left on the team other than Artie. So I'm trying to get some distance on this guy because I'm thinking he's YOLOing into me. So I'm trying to get as much distance as I possibly can. I'm running away, and then where I make the mistake is I actually cut back this way. And You don't realize this, but this ridgeline is not nearly as steep as you think. So I see the T-34-85 here, and now I'm going to try and go back after him because he's turning around, right? He's turning around trying to focus my dad. So now I'm going to try and focus this guy. I'm here, but he spots me here, and now I'm trying to get back away from him, and he turns around like on the dime, right? Turns around, and he ends up cleaning up here. So this is a mistake on my part, but also I kind of lit him here, so I gave the Artie the shot, and now my dad has the shot here, and he's got the DPM, and he's able to actually rack the guy, but it didn't matter for that last shot. So there you go, man. Shout out to my dad. He cleans this guy up, man, before he can reload or before he can turn his turret, right? And my dad's got 3 kills, and now my dad is going to be the one that carries this game. I got my groceries delivered. I don't know if I said this at the beginning of the game. I got my groceries delivered, guys, during this game. So I'm trying to watch this game, but it's like 90-something degrees in Texas. And, you know, my milk and my chicken breasts and all that are sitting outside on my porch. I'm like, crap, I gotta run and go get my groceries. So I go get my groceries, and I'm starting to like put the cold stuff in the fridge, and I'm running back to my computer to see my dad basically carry this game, right? So you're gonna watch that. This enemy M44 ends up cleaning the SU-8 up because when I came back, my dad was the only person left. So he gets that kill, and now my dad has to try and shoot the M44. He misses there. He's loading the HE, which is actually smart, but he can't quite get this guy, right? Like, it's hard to hit people on the move from this distance. It's a pretty far distance. And now my dad's going to push in, and you'll see that this Artie actually kind of makes a mistake. See how he's positioned, like at the very edge here? My dad's shooting him with the HE. My dad actually tracks him. So now he's stuck here, and he's trying to... I don't know if he just wanted to suicide at that point, or he's trying to shoot around the building, but he's stuck on the corner of the building. My dad's able to clean him up with the HE, and there you go, 4 kills for my dad. But did you see the way we played this game, guys? It's a lot to cover. It's a lot to go over. I made 2 huge mistakes here. By poking here, thinking that the T-34 was going to stay down, he comes up the ridgeline, I turn around and run back, and then I'm thinking he's going to start going towards my dad and the Artie, but then he kind of stops, turns his turret again, and I'm not in cover. Because I'm actually... This ridgeline, it actually is sort of steep. I thought I was back here, but I ended up being in this area, and I just didn't have the ridgeline to keep me safe. So my mistake the second time was I should have been over here. But now, since this guy turned around, I'm trying to YOLO him, right? Because you don't want a situation where he goes after my dad and the Artie, and then I'm nowhere to be seen. I'm staying safe over here. So it's just one of those things where I'm like, I'm not really sure what this guy's going to do. I'm not sure what I should do. And I ended up trying to go after him, and he turned on me. I was a one-shot. It's unfortunate, man. This T-34-85M is a very powerful tank. This was the only guy that hit me the whole game. 3 shots and I was dead. So he played it well, but just not quite well enough. And by him coming up this ridgeline and me relighting him, at least it gave the Artie a shot, and it gave my dad a jump on the guy. So we worked together to get the win here and make it work. But overall, I just made a big mistake here, and there's nothing you can do. Hindsight is always 20/20, guys, but hopefully this kind of shows you how you can defend on Siegfried line, how you can use the map to your advantage, and just always be keeping your mind moving, right? No game is the same. I used this ridgeline to my advantage, and we were able to really get a big jump on the Challenger, right? Because we got a lot of shots into that guy. We hit him for a total of 619 damage, and I think it was even more in the end plates. So that's it, guys, for this one. I hope I've explained everything enough. As always, if you have any questions, just comment below and I will answer them. We put 12 shots into the Challenger, so we got 1216 spotting, 1215 damage. They're almost exactly the same. My dad did 1059 damage, 4 kills, 1211 experience. I had 848. The T-43 played really well as well. He had 2100 damage. Shout out to that guy. Otherwise, we probably wouldn't have won this one. 1062 experience for him. And there you go. I'll show you the detailed report. We lost 57k because we're spamming the crap out of the gold rounds, but you kind of have to do that on this tank if the game is going to be close. This is how I run this, guys. I like this T3 mobility system on this tank. I put that, and then optics, and I have the fence. But I do run it, because I play this tank so much, I actually run it with the improved fence. This what I call this, a bond equipment, right? And my crew is pretty stacked out. We do have brothers in arms, but hopefully everything is helpful and informative in this video for you guys. Hope it helps you out, and I'll catch you guys for the next one. Take care, and bye bye now.